going on, y'all? It's your man, Dre, the #1 Chief Rocker.
Jose, a.k.a. KJ.
And you are listening or watching the Pull Up. This is a new segment that we're doing on our podcast. And we got a very special guest. I wasn't saying the building, but we're actually in his building. So that kind of didn't work out. We got my man Sealy in the building, man. Round of applause for Sealy. I can't clap on.
No. Sound effects like.
Yeah, we'll add that, folks.
Yeah.
What's up, my man?
Man, been good, dude. What about you? Hey, thanks for having me on there, man. Like, this is dope. Like, you guys are doing some cool stuff. We need more podcasts like this in Salt Lake.
Well, we're about to
Especially,
start.
like, I never heard of a podcast that like covers like hip hop stuff in Salt Lake. So. Hopefully this is the first one, unless I'm wrong. Right?
No. I mean, we do cover a lot of hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
We do a lot for the culture, and I think that's why it's only fitting because I think that you are somebody that has a lot to do with that culture out here.
Definitely
Appreciate it.
And
yeah.
they don't put enough respect on your name, so we're here to put some respect on your name.
That's good. Yeah, there's like I don't know. I've been told by tons of people, like they didn't even know I'm from Utah. I was like, really? Wow. I felt like that was a slap to my face. They always think I'm from L.A., and I've never once told anybody. And what's like, I was from L.A., and everywhere I go, even when I go to L.A., I brag about Utah so much.
Yeah, you do.
Like, crazy. Everywhere I go, I'm like, dude, Utah is where it's at. I promise you. So I live there. It's even locals like, yo, like you're from Utah. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That kind of bugs me out because you are always repping Utah. I've never seen you fake the funk. I mean, you be in New York, you be in LA, you be in these places, but I always see you tied into Utah, and you always talk about that. So that's kind of crazy that they would think that.
Yeah, people don't think I'm from here. It's so weird.
That is weird. I remember one of the first videos that I seen when I moved here from Portland was the Too Young video.
Yeah, that was like this high school days, man.
You remember the Too Young video?
2003 or 4? No, 2004 or 5, something like that. I can't remember.
So
too long ago.
And you were out there and you had the city skyline on there and it was just like imaging was dope, man. So
and even crazy. Like all the bigger videos I've done, like with like Ty Dolla $ign, YG, all those guys, that was done in Utah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of those videos.
Yeah, that all Utah. Yeah, that was like right here, back in here too. Yeah, it's all Utah.
Mostly, I mean, you've worked with so many people and you've been on it like so early.
Yeah,
you've been on it so early. How were you able to do that?
Man, it's like. I think it had to do with MySpace. So I got discovered on MySpace by Sean Kingston.
Really?
Yeah, so I did a lot of local stuff out here first, like layouts. And I started spicing my own MySpace style out. And Sean Kingston discovered me, and he messaged me on MySpace. He was nobody yet. But he's like, yo, I got signed with J.R. Rodham. He's with Sony. I have a single that's going to come out in a month. That's Beautiful Girls, by the way.
Damn.
Like, yeah. Those if I could figure out my MySpace login, I'll probably pull that message up. But yeah, he found me on MySpace. Like, yo, you gotta hook me up with the MySpace, right? Well, again, prior to that, I did like a lot of local stuff, like especially with Hispanic bands. So I did like CD layouts for like those local like Hispanic bands. Yeah. Right.
I think it's called a mariachi.
No. The other one, there's a term for it. What do you call those again?
Narcos.
Yeah, it's like narco music.
Oh, okay.
But it's like you get them a lot of quinceañeras and stuff. Like it's like 10, 12 guys.
Waldo,
right?
What is it? You know what it is. Waldo, what is it?
What there's a term. There's a word for it. Mariachi is totally different. This is like different. It's like the traditional like North Mexico. Probably, I have no idea. Like, but it's the one that's popular here in Utah within the Hispanic community. I can't remember, but I did a lot of those.
The Norteños gang.
I did a lot of those like album art covers for those guys and helping my dad out with like, I already had that experience through shooting quinceañeras and stuff. Right. I shot like Spanish weddings and stuff. That's how I did it when I was a kid. Like,
so that's how you got into that culture. And you kind of helped them out with the advertising, things like that.
I knew that's what I wanted to do, but originally I wanted to do movies and video games. So I did design video games when I was a kid, like 10, 11, 12 years old, and claymation short films, right? But then really I think it was Sean Kingston who found me on MySpace. And then from Sean Kingston, after I designed his page, because Sean Kingston, before he released Beautiful Girls, he had a song with The Game called Colors. Okay. Yeah, so now that was where it's, and this is when I was like in 10th or 11th grade, 2005 or 6. Oh, wow. And then that's when someone from Black Wall Street hit me up. They were like, this is now you're going to see how the web starts to sprawl out. Okay. So that one source, all it took was one source, and I had a product, a solid product that no one has. I was the only one that did it, which is Flash layouts. So back in MySpace, I figured out how to add a Flash banner on top of a band layout. No one was really doing that, right? So I did that, and this guy from Black Wall Street hit me up. I remember his name too. His name is Jorge. He's like Black Wall Street's photographer. He's just a photographer, right? He's like, yo, so we got this artist named Juice, Game's new artist. All right. I was like, oh man, that's cool. He's Black Wall Street. Cool. Like one day I'll probably do something for Game. So I did. Keep in mind, I was doing all these for free.
Yeah,
like just
grinding.
Free work. I still do free work once in a while if it's like someone I like, right?
Yeah.
But for the first 3 years, just free work. That's all I did. And once in a while, I'll pick up a side client and get paid through that way. But I did Juice, and then from Juice it was New Jersey Devil, and then from New Jersey Devil it was Game. Then this is before I moved to LA. So in high school, this art school came in and gave me a full ride scholarship. And I thought I was gonna go to the U or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, we're based in Santa Monica. I want to give you a full ride. I was like, man, okay. Like, I have to move to LA though, right? So I packed my bags, drove out there with my parents just so they can see me off. And then how I met Game, this is like literally the next day after. I didn't even expect to meet Game.
Yeah.
What happened was I was running this online radio station called New Birth Radio at the time. It was really popular amongst like especially Asian Americans. It was this when you were doing the whole you had it was like a community online
community.
nicotine gas mask.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
gas mask
it worked. We because of Nicotine Gas Mask New Birth Radio, we pushed out Far East Movement records.
Really?
Far East Movement was a part of our crew. They were there's pictures of Far East Movement wearing a nicotine gas mask bandana. Like, they were part of our crew. So what happened was, I skipped all that too. I remember, before Game, man, I feel like I'm disrespecting the Asian American community. But before Game, I worked in the Asian American hip hop scene first.
Damn, they're gonna be mad at you because
So-
you picked up the
No,
Mexicans
no.
before you did the Asians.
Yeah, so
You forgot about that.
So no, what it was is I was on this website. The website shut down though. It was called AZNRaps.com. It's the biggest Asian American blog that featured Asian American Asian Americans in hip hop. But I was working with this. I forgot how he discovered me, but he was a known underground MC from Boston named Snacky Chan, Korean artist that was friends with Jin the MC. Jim was kind of big at the time too because he signed to Rough Riders. Yes, I looked up to him because I was like, yeah, we finally have an Asian American. Like,
plus he murdered everybody on BET.
Yeah, the Freestyle Fridays.
Yeah.
Yep. So I did an album cover for him, and he had an independent distribution. And at the time, when you have an album in the Brick and Mortar store, that was everything, right?
Yeah.
So I was an upcoming graphic designer. I was like, man, my dream is to have like an album where I can walk into like what was that record store in Gateway? Do you remember that?
Oh,
long time ago. Where the deep? No, is that the depot? It's like right there. On top of it used to be, it's Urban Outfitters before.
Yeah.
It's whatever was before Urban Outfitters. What was that?
I forget what it was called.
It can't be Virgin Records, was it? Was it Virgin Record Store? It was
Virgin.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Virgin
it was
Record Store.
Virgin.
Yeah, so I did the album cover for Snacky Chan, and they had it got distributed in Virgin. I saw it, so that was like, oh shit, like okay, like I see my career going somewhere.
Yeah.
I see my thing in the store. That was a goal though. At that time though, my long-term goal was to get a major album in the store with my art. All right, and then that happens way later.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even expect it, but yeah, that was the first one that I had in the store. And then Snacky flew me out to New York for his album release party, and Miss Info was there. She was the face of Hot 97. She's Korean. Yeah, Miss Info. Remember her?
Yeah, I remember it.
I met Miss Info. Jin the MC came through, and there's all these Asian Americans. So I was working with them, and then they introduced me to like this dude named from the Bay, Roscoe Mali,
Okay.
a Filipino like rapper. I worked with Jimmy Boy too, and it's where Jimmy Boy is huge now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he before he was a rapper. I did his MySpaces and everything. I did not know he's working with 6ix9ine. Like he's 6ix9ine's jeweler now, right?
That's crazy.
So yeah, so I was in this it was an Asian American circle, where I was the one that handled all the visuals, right? And we had Jin, Snacky Chan, and Far East Movement is another story. They came up from that circle. We were on AsianRaps.com. Like they were pushing out songs. The blog would feature it.
So this is still when you're in high school at this
Yeah, high school. Yep.
So you're
still in high school. This is before Game. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it starts to all tie in together. So long story short, when I moved to LA, I was still in the Asian scene too. This is when I was working more at Far East Movement. And now I'm in LA. I'm closer to Far East. Like Far East, one of their guys named DJ Vermin
Okay.
had he's been here a couple times because he's friends with Erocalypse too at
Yeah.
U92. He had a Long Beach clothing store, and every Sunday we would host so they would take my Sunday spot for New Birth Radio. So now it's like New Birth Radio started getting bigger, and we had a broader audience.
Yeah.
Because all Asian Americans listen to New Birth Radio if we were in high school. In that era, like, you listen to New Birth Radio.
This was what, 2006?
6 to 8.
Yeah.
2006 to 2008.
I remember.
And what's cool is it was weird. I was telling people this. I was like, yo, I was one of the early, like, my concept was like Twitch. So Twitch is you watch a gamer while you chat in a box. New Birth Radio was like that. We had DJs that streamed. There was a chat box, and everybody chatted on there. But what was cool was this specific chat box. For some reason, it was a universal chat box. So how I got it big was, since I was designing everybody's MySpace, game and everybody, I would embed that same chat box on a bunch of big artists' MySpace, so all their fans would automatically be added to the chat box. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a network of all these big rappers using my one universal chat box.
What made you
And
think about that?
I don't know. I was like, it was an idea. I was like, okay, this could work. Because what happened is I put the one chat box on my page. I had it on New Birth Radio. I had it on Nicotine Gas Mask. And I noticed all the chats. So when I typed in one chat box, it popped up on the other three.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this same chat box can work with all those. All right. Then I talked to Game. I was like, oh, we're going to put this universal chat box on, which means you're going to be sharing your fans with Rick Ross, your fans with Nas. And to them, that's like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, why not, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, too, I'm getting those fans from my own shit, my New Birth Radio. So it makes my New Birth Radio look bigger. And the thing is, on the chat box, it literally says Nicotine Gas Mask New Birth Radio as the main chat. That's how I advertised it. So it was
Branding.
just getting all these people in there. But I made the trek to LA to go to art school, and then one of our DJs, she's a female DJ, this one chick, she landed us a deal. They gave us a free booth at Hot Import Nights at the LA Convention Center.
Okay.
And I found a Game was performing that same night. So I hit up my boy from Black Wall Street. I was like, yo, so I'm here in town. I moved. He's like, come through, right? I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. So I went there, did my booth thing. Then I met up with him. He took me to the back to where Game was staying on the RV thing. That's when I met Game for the first time.
Is this documentary era?
No, before LAX. Right? It's after documentary going into No, so he had a documentary, and then he had oh my god, I'm tripping now. What was the second album again? Dude, LAX is the third album.
Yeah.
There was a second album. The one with One Blood. I am tripping out. I know it. That's like one of my favorite albums too.
This wasn't Superman though, right? Was Superman?
The Superman was never on an album. It was a diss to 50 Cent. I remember that too. So he had documentary, his first album.
Yeah.
Right. What was that second one?
Oh, they're gonna hate us in the
Dude,
comments.
I remember. I know what documentary. Documentary is Game sitting on wheels.
On the wheels, yeah.
Right. Second one was Wheels Again.
Wasn't it his baby? No.
LAX had his kid in it. Wow, how do I not know his second album?
Comment section's gonna hate us.
The hell?
Yeah.
Documentary.
He'll get roasted.
And then LAX. LAX is the third one.
So this is during that era though. This is
This
during that
right
time.
after the second album going on to LAX.
Gotcha,
And I worked
okay.
all the way past LAX.
You get invited to the party.
Which one? The LAX? I moved back to Utah right when he launched LAX. Released LAX.
But what you're talking about, you hit your boy up from Black Wall Street.
Oh yeah, Hot Import Nights. So he was performing. He did his performance, went back, and then he took me to the back to meet Game on inside his RV, and that's when we were like, oh, and I forgot, I had designed Game's MySpace right before this.
So this was the first flash. This is
So he has seen my stuff already, right?
Okay.
So I got onto the bus. He's like, this is CLe. He's the one that did your MySpace. He's like, oh, cool. And I had remember when everybody was wearing button-up shirts?
Yeah.
Stripe button-up shirts around there. I was wearing that, and he called me button-up stripe guy or whatever. There's a video on YouTube too, but yeah. And then we were talking about the Black Wall Street logo there. He's like, oh, yo, yeah, look, I'm looking for a new logo too. Blah 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 blah. Let's come by the studio. So he gave me an address. It wasn't that same night, but one of my other boys, his name is Tassiri. He was like the president of Black Wall Street. He got the address, gave it to me, and I went, and this is where I started hanging out with Game and his crew at Encore Studios, like almost every few days. So that was like my LA high life when I just barely moved there from Utah.
Yeah,
Right? It was like
crazy.
unbelievable. And yeah, and I was there. I was dating a girl at the time too. It was my first true like relationship.
So it was
as
about
well. So she was always
3
with me.
months.
Yeah, so like she would always go with me to the studio too. I'd bring her to the studio. It was pretty dope. But yeah, I would go there, and then the majority of the time I spent at the studio game was designing the Black Wall Street logo. And what was crazy is he allowed me in this. I guess he just liked me, right? So the way the studio is, like these higher end studios, they have the actual studio section. They have the lounge outside with the bedrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where your entourage stayed. He doesn't allow everybody in that room, the actual studio room where he's in there recording.
Yeah.
He always allowed me in there.
Damn.
Like
crazy.
every time. So it was just me, Game, his engineer, someone else. I forgot. I totally forgot who it was. But we just chilling in there. I watched LAX get made. All right.
That's crazy.
And then I'd sit there and just design on my laptop. And I'll flip the laptop over, like, yo, Chuck. We call him Chuck.
Yeah.
Everybody in the camp calls him Chuck. Like that's how he knows like you're in the crew too. Because like even if I bump into someone else that like mess with Game, I'll be like, yo, how's Chuck doing? He'll be like, oh shit, like
He knows what's up.
Yeah, he knows. Like only his close people call him Chuck.
So during that time, though, I mean, this is games heavy game banging, right? So
this is when the New West thing started coming.
Yeah.
Right before the jerking movement started.
Yeah.
So New West. It's all like gangster music was still in, like especially New West. You had Glasses Malone too, which I still talk to. Glasses, my boy. And
Snoop
then,
was still heavy during that time.
Yeah,
too?
Snoop, and then you had there was Bishop Lamont.
E40.
Yeah, he's hyphy. I don't consider him New West like that.
True,
like
true.
when I mean New West, it's like L.A. like
Gotcha.
gangster music's coming back, kind of a thing. So Glasses, Game. Of course, J-Rock.
Yeah, J-Rock.
J-Rock is still the dude who's holding it down, but J-Rock, Glass and Malone, like those are the four.
So were you uncomfortable? How was that feeling like being around that type of atmosphere? Was it uncomfortable or
No, not at all.
just good?
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Like there's no such thing as ghettos in Utah, but I was hanging out with like not the okay crowd when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got used to it, but yeah, it was cool. Like they accepted me too, and they just had my back, like all of them. And all those guys too. Like I even saw one of his cousins on when Straight Outta Compton came out. This dude, it's so funny. It's okay if I talk about this too, but I remember because my ex, she's like, oh man, he tried to holler at me, try to ask for my number. And I know who it is, Menace. Do you guys know who Menace is? Compton Menace.
Oh yeah,
His
yeah.
Game's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to get at my chick, and years later, I got cool with him. I used to think that he hated me or something.
Yeah.
We used to talk on MySpace too because he wanted to work for me. The Straight Outta Compton comes out and he's on the movie.
Yeah.
He's on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the bus,
I was like, why does this dude look so familiar?
Yeah, that was the dude CeLe knocked out, low key. CeLe left out that part where Compton Menace tried to get at his girl, and then he wanted all the smoke.
Yo, yeah. Because my ex would make fun of it all the time. Because I bring her to the shoots and stuff. Everybody's just eyeing her, right?
Yeah.
And she's like laughing. He's like, that guy there just trying to talk to me. Da, da, da. I was like, oh, that's Game's cousin, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, when I saw him on Straight Outta Compton, I was like, no way. Really? Oh, okay. He's on Straight Outta Compton now, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's crazy. A lot of those people from that time, they all branched out and started doing their own thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like Ski was in Black Wall Street. Then he broke out, had his own TV show on Access TV.
I remember.
He has Dash Radio now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Did you do Ski's logo?
No, I did his MySpace, his EPKs,
Okay.
A bunch of other stuff. I did not do his logo.
For some
His
reason, I thought you
logo
did
was
logo.
done. I actually think his logo, and I used to look up to these guys too, was done by Estevan Oriole, or no, Mr. Cartoon.
Oh, okay.
So
OG cartoon.
all those guys, they had a little like design media group. Estevan Oriole, Mr. Cartoon. Estevan Oriole was like a director too, and a photographer. Set like Chicano, LA, they were holding it down. Like, I even went to Mr. Cartoon's tattoo. He opened up a brand new tattoo shop in downtown LA. It was pretty dope, and I went to that. Like I looked up to that guy too. I designed his MySpace as well, Mr. Cartoon.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
yes, I was like, I think that's why people thought I was from LA, maybe.
Because you did
Yeah,
mess
that-
with heavy LA people.
But then I worked with a lot of locals out here too.
You
Like
well-
I know the people that I worked with know I'm from Utah,
Kinda.
but
Yeah.
outside looking in,
Yeah.
like they get surprised. Like even like close people know her. When I'm out here, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing visiting Utah?" I'm like, "No, I live here."
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
But people from I feel like people that I guess the six degrees of separation, those artists that you did help out and you were working with, I think that the people that knew them knew exactly where you were.
Yeah.
This was kind of like the studio where you're in, right?
Yeah.
You haven't moved.
Yeah.
This is kind of like an iconic spot in Salt Lake.
Yeah, that's why I'm still here. Like, I've been here forever. My parents have been here forever. My dad shot his photos here. Like, we watched 9th South get gentrified in front of our faces. I knew the street was going to be popping. Because the thing is, like, when I was doing Grand Forte, I went to LA a lot to visit. There's a street in Hollywood called Fairfax Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of the streetwear shops are. And that's, like, it was my goal to have a Grand Forte spot there one of these days, right? And I was like, I made use of where I was at. I was like, you know what? 9th South could be the new Fairfax. Because what happened is, where 9th and 9th was, there used to be a store called like Fresh or something. 10. Yeah, remember that?
10.
So they popped up. And we were the only 2 streetwear stores. Yeah. But I'm like, it's starting. Like, if it starts to spread. Now, if you drive down 9th South, it's just like super trendy and everything. It's crazy. It just happened all in front of my eyes.
What happened with Grand Forte?
So this is when I started pursuing more movies. And I always had a problem when I was a kid where I took too many projects and couldn't finish them. It was just like this ADHD thing going. I'll be excited on the next thing, hop on to the next project. And at the same time, I was finishing up school, just no time. So movies was my main thing. This is when I started taking less music video projects. When I'm on my movie, I spend like a year and a half to 2 years. Just in no time. It's just editing, like constant communication with like the crew and everything. I couldn't. You know what I mean? So I was like, my partner's like, I'll buy it off of you. My partner, Taj, bought Grand Forte off of me. And I told him I'll sell it to you, but I have to keep my bear logo. So he took it, he bought the business, and he rebranded it to another name. And that's now defunct too. So he pursued his pharmacy thing. He's a pharmacist. So he's like my backer. He helped fund a lot of my Grand Forte stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's doing well in pharmacy right now. So but he always hit me up. He's like, dude, we should close again. It was fun.
Cause I see, I mean, Grand Forte. My dad has my Grand Forte hat. I got it when you guys did the was it March Madness? Was it March Madness or was it Madden?
It was March Madness.
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness.
And I came through and I bought the beanie because low key that's the only thing that fit me. so I bought the beanie and my dad stole my GF hat.
Oh man,
and I miss it.
The bear logo was dope.
Oh yeah,
So
everything about that damn line was dope, and I was upset personally that you guys got rid of it.
But what's crazy is I felt bad because there was a kid from Colorado, I think, and he's on. Someone showed me on Facebook. He tatted the whole logo on his leg.
It's a dope logo.
Like, what? Oh no, the thing is, I'm planning to use the logo for something else.
Okay. The bear too.
Yeah. So there's a couple deals we have. One of my partners, he's a film producer. He gets me all like my film stuff, but like he was telling me like the Walmart people like the logo, and Walmart has a film division. They want to turn it into a kids thing, like a kids like TV show.
That's huge.
I don't know, but I if anything, I would take it and turn it to more like a adult cartoon, like a Rick and Morty or something.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it's like a bear that can't talk.
Yeah,
it's more about his actions. I don't know. It's like down the road.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
you got all the talents to make that happen.
Yeah. Like, I want to do a cartoon down the road.
Well, if you need voiceover, I'm here.
What's crazy to me about all the stories you just told is I never realized you were that young when it all took place.
Yeah, it's like I started when. Again, I got into 3D animation when I was 11. Yeah. Like my dad found one of the VHS tapes, my first short film. It was when Pokemon was big. Yeah. I did a 3D anime Pokemon thing that I submitted into like a school contest, and we found it, and I uploaded it on YouTube.
I seen it,
and I was like, holy crap, this was 1997. Like this is old. Yeah, but I stuck with it. I never worked for anybody. No. That was when I was a kid. I knew I did not want to work for anybody. I just want to make art. Like that was my mindset.
There's some people that's talented, and you know that's you. You're born with it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I just feel like it's your product of your environment. To be honest, you know what I mean. I mean, there are kids who like I've seen this kid from Africa. I'm not sure. I forgot his name, but he does hyper real portraits. The ones that when you look out from a far distance, it looks like a real picture of a person. Yeah. This kid's 11. Wow. And he's like from some small village. That's being born with a gift right there. Like, I don't know. That's insane. I showed someone, they're like, oh, he probably has one of those disorders in his head where he's so focused on detail, and that's what helps him. I don't know, but
That's pretty cool. I would like to see it.
that's some crazy stuff. I forgot his name. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'll pull up on my phone. This kid, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that reminds me of me when I was a kid. Like, I was always into drawing. I got in trouble for drawing in school. Like, parent-teacher conference, pull my parents in. They have to get rid of my paper and my pens and pencils so I can focus more on my schoolwork. But I just drew.
So where'd the bear come from then? What was the for Grand Forte?
Bear, cause I wanted a brand that kind of reps Utah low key, and we're the Beehive State. We're hardworking, you know, like so.
Yeah.
And then bears eat honey, so I was like, all right, I'll just go with the bear. I don't want to go with bees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About
Makes
Salt Lake bees. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the closest thing affiliated that we can put 2 and 2 together? Bears and honey. Like,
Yeah.
and then we have bears here. We have brown bears and black bears, and I think we have all kinds of bears here in Utah. So it worked. A bear fits within the outdoorsy
That makes
nature
sense
of it.
now, because I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I just thought you were just like bears.
I was trying to do a brand. So here's some. At the time, you can't make a brand that 100% represents Utah. It just won't work, because from people looking inside, like Utah, they think we're like a Mormon state, blah blah blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to figure out how to subliminally do it.
Yeah.
So I would have that's why I had some jackets that say 9th South Battalion.
Yeah.
So Californians were rocking that shit, but they don't realize you're repping a Utah street.
Yep.
Like I did a T-shirt release on Fairfax, and I had Street Team and one of my homies, Mogs. He's like a rapper from Fairfax. He loved Grand Forte as well, but he went around slapped Grand Forte stickers all up and down Fairfax. So people in Fairfax low key knew what Grand Forte was. They just didn't know it was from Utah. So that's how I subliminally market Utah.
Yeah.
All right, because I knew like one day when I get big, people would do the research. Like, oh, Grand Forte is a Salt Lake based brand. Okay, like, but it's just like I would take little iconic things that me and you would know came from Utah, but other people wouldn't. All
So
right?
what's your feeling on brands like a Supreme?
Oh, no, I respect those. Those guys have been around forever.
That's dope.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like,
He's dope.
look at that.
He's just
That's
showing
an
us,
11-year-old
yeah.
kid.
he's showing us the art from
That is dope.
the kid in Africa.
Waspa. That's his name. Waspa_art. This kid
That
is a
pretty
genius. Like,
cool. Yeah.
look at him. He's
Damn.
like a little kid.
Yeah, he
Man.
is.
This dude, like, come on, man. You see that?
That looks so realistic.
Oh, he's talented.
11-year-old kid.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's talent.
Sorry for getting sidetracked. Yeah,
No,
I just-
you good. No,
I was
yeah.
looking for it. I saved it. I had to scroll through all my saved images. I was like, where is it at? Where's that on Instagram? Yeah. I want you guys to see that, because this kid is.
I'm gonna give him a follow, because that's real dope.
Yes, he's crazy. He's super crazy.
So do you think trajectory wise, do you think Grand Forte was on that same trajectory as like a Supreme? Do you feel like
If we kept going, it would have been, because we were the first. So where I had the advantage that no brand had, and this is how I got it big, was that I had this marketing plan. I knew I had a product everybody wanted besides clothes. Every major rapper, they wanted my work, my music videos.
Yeah.
100%. So I was like, I started hitting up artists I knew that were just barely got signed or on the rise. If I did trade work, right? In Hollywood, once you get there, everybody's doing the bartering system.
Yeah.
No matter what, people barter. You trade for trade, scratch each other's back. That's how it is. So like, I would do work. So I'll offer a free music video as long as they wear my clothes. I'll fund the whole video, right? But I own all my own equipment and everything, so it would cost me nothing, just my time and my editing.
Yeah.
And I knew I'd make all that money when people see it on YouTube and it goes viral and they just go and order my stuff.
Okay.
And it potentially could even make more money than what they would pay me for a video.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they like the clothes, and they wore, like, when I did I did a Grand Forte video with Ty Dolla $ign YG,
Yeah.
and Ty even liked the clothes so much, he liked the beanie, and he wore the beanie on that movie with Snoop Dogg. I didn't even ask him to do it. He naturally wore it. Mac and Devin Go to High School.
Yeah.
If you watch, there's a scene, yeah, you can see it. He turns around, you see it for like 4 or 5 seconds in a scene where he's smoking weed in this classroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not tell him to wear Grand Forte. He just wore it because he liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dope. That's
So
real
we did, and then I did the video with Dizzy Wright and Hobson and Swizz. Just a bunch of these marketing videos to promote my clothing line, but they got a video out of it. So that's how the brand was blowing up. All these other brands too were like, oh shit, like why are these celebrities wearing Grand Forte? And that's the thing. Like when you run a brand, I feel like nowadays you need to be in a circle with these like influencers. Like that's how Virgil Abloh got big with Off-White. And he did Pyrex, right? Pyrex. Kanye was wearing his stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like that whole circle.
Yeah.
I look up to like Virgil. Like that's the route I see myself going in because we both did the same thing. He did album covers for Kanye, but I did album covers for Jhené Aiko, a bunch of other people, right? But then we're gonna transition that. This is where I'm launching my new line, right? My new clothing line. But now, he's hip hop, right? But I'm a gamer as well, and the biggest thing in entertainment now is esports and gaming.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I've been involved in it for the past like 5-6 years. And people, even 6 years ago, people were like, "What's Chris doing? Like he's in hip hop," but they didn't know. Like now they see why I was doing it, right?
Yeah.
I kept on telling everybody, like, "Yo, gaming is the future." Like, gamers are stereotype. I promise you, every kid's gonna want to be a gamer because gamers are gonna be cool now, and they are now. All the new hype beasts are gamers. Like. FaZe Clan.
Yeah, Ninja.
FaZe Clan, Ninja, playing with Drake. Like, I knew this was happening. So, Virgil has this thing now with Louis Vuitton. Cool, right? But I'm creating a streetwear line dedicated towards the esports scene as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where I have the upper advantage. And on top of that, I still have my music industry connects. And I'm going to have all those guys wear it too. But then I have esports athletes wear it at the same time. Yeah, so like... So
that's a project you're working on right now?
Yeah, it's just one of them. Yeah, the brand's called Factory New, and the name comes from because I'm in the Counter-Strike global offensive scene. I did a bunch of CS:GO skins that are in the game, and those skins have like crazy followings. Like I think overall there's like 60 million of my skins in circulation.
Wow.
Yeah, tons of fans.
That is nuts.
A lot, like even I didn't even know this. Like Neymar Jr. I don't know what football club he plays for now. He used to play for Barcelona, Spain, with Messi. So you had Messi, top football player. Neymar Jr. Like you heard of Neymar Jr. He plays Counter-Strike and he has all my skins.
Wow.
Like yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
this. So that's why I wanted to get into clothing now because I was like, dude, everybody's wearing my stuff in game.
Yeah.
It would make sense for me to come back with a line. Because I own the rights to a lot of these skins, and people are bootlegging my stuff all over China, making clothes out of it.
Are they really?
Yeah, I get pissed all the time, and I can't do anything about it.
Why
like,
can't you?
They're in China. Like, what am I gonna do? Russia? Hey, look at this disarray.
That's how they do it out
So you
there.
just chalk it up? Hey.
So like this is one of my first skins I did. It's really popular. Like digitally, this skin's worth like even if you want to buy this skin using game, it's $100 USD.
Really?
Yep, they have real money assets. Like people pay for using Bitcoin or whatever. But I'll go on here and I'll find like crew necks, T-shirts.
Oh my gosh. Yo, that hoodie's that hoodie's
Hey,
lit.
like,
I'm gonna have to get that hoodie.
but it's just people with all this merch, mouse pads. Like they're just capitalizing on my design. Pants, I don't know. It's just crazy. Backpacks.
That's wild.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So what you're working on now is those skins that you make for the guns and stuff. You're actually gonna make your clothes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make it more minimalist for clothes, streetwear.
Okay. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And now what I'm doing is like with the shoes, I do a lot of video game designs on the shoes to attract that crowd. So Virgil did shoes with like off-white, like sneaker customs. He'll take the Jordans and break them up and do the whole quotes thing he does, right? Yeah. I'm going more complicated route, putting video game inspiration on these sneakers, all right? That's where it's headed now. Like, I called it. Like, I started doing this before. Like, now Sony has a project with Adidas. They even did the Dragon Ball Z shoes with Adidas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sonic the Hedgehog has shoes with Adidas. Like, they're doing all these collabos, and it's happening now after I started doing this. But, like, recently, I work with one of the biggest esports teams called Fnatic. So they are, like, FaZe Clan, Fnatic, Team Liquid. Like Team Liquid just got bought by Michael Jordan, by the way. So like the whole NBA, they're all trying to buy out esports teams because that's the future. Right?
Well, I know that the Utah Jazz has an
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah,
he's involved with esports. And the thing is, it's again, no one believed me. Like 6-7 years ago, I was telling him because I got into it early. Right, I saw it grow. Like me and my brother and I, we got into it when it was in its baby phase. Well, before that though, it was like no one heard of the concept of esports. It was everybody was playing games together before, like tournaments and stuff. We had tournaments for ages, like BYOCs, bring your own computer. That's like a little party you throw in your basement when all your nerd friends come with the computer and you set it up and play Quake or Doom, right? Like we knew there was potential for it, but we didn't think it would be now. it started happening. Where it started blowing up was my brother and I. Before I did Counter-Strike, my brother was doing cosmetics for this game called Dota 2, and it's the biggest MOBA. That's our second biggest now, but they have League of Legends and then they have Dota 2. So you do the cosmetics for the game, and we started getting big in that scene. So he did the cosmetics, I did the marketing videos for it, and then I eventually got into the cosmetics where I design my own. But we get invited every year. Valve invites like a select group of the top designers, and we all go to Seattle to go to the tournament, and they host the biggest esports tournament. Like when we first went, the prize pool was probably like 8 mil when we first went. This year's prize pool was 27 million.
Wow.
Man.
Yep, $27 million prize pool. That's bigger than the PGA. It's bigger than a lot of sports, right?
That's nuts.
Yeah, so this was years ago. I'm like, dude, there's something to this, right? There is something to this, and that's when I just on my Instagram, you see when I went from straight hip hop to gaming, like just all complete gaming. Once in a while, I'll post a hip hop post or something, because I still do the hip hop stuff, but I mostly focus on artists that I feel like my manager signs, because my manager has great ears. She signs everybody that eventually becomes Grammy nominated. Like all the artists, my recent artists I work with, they all got Grammy nominated, right? Yeah. So I'll do those once in a while, but my focus is just the gaming thing, and I'm utilizing that for the clothes. I feel like once I launch this brand, it's going to be bigger than Off-White.
Oh, yeah.
Because all the kids, the new generation of kids, the gamers, they're hype beasts. They collect Supreme.
Yep. Yeah.
They buy Off-White. But now they get to buy clothes from someone who is them, who's a gamer just like them, who understands them. Yeah. But, you like that streetwear fashion? Cool. I've had that history too. Combine the two together. And that's what Factory New is. And that's what I'm going to drop it on them, just like that.
Factory
New.
And
my shoes, no one can buy them. I'm not selling. I get emails of people requesting, like, custom orders for Christmas. I'm not selling it. Because they're only going to be available to influencers. There's 10 pairs made already, and we can get into that. But that one's like, this is like my next, like, project.
Well, the IG has been lit with the gaming stuff. With the new, you drop a skin, I swear, like all the time. I see the new skins. You show the tutorial, not even tutorials. You show the
speed art. Yeah.
And we see it, and so those pieces are not for sale. Those are strictly for influencers.
Check us out. No one's seen this yet too. So
exclusive.
The ones on Hypebeast, they were. I'll show you guys after the podcast too. I wish that's why if I had a laptop, I would pull it all up for you guys. So League of Legends just did the Worlds. So Worlds is like the Super Bowl of League of Legends. It's always done in a giant soccer stadium. They ran out with like 40,000 people watching live there. Their halftime shows look better than the Super Bowl.
Damn.
But Fnatic wore my shoes on stage. This the top two final teams. Yeah, they were like facing off each other outside. People cheering. The whole Fnatic team were just laced up with my customs. And I did the customs with this really big shoe customs designer named Zaptio from London. There's two really big guys. These guys don't like. There's Kickstradamus. You ever heard of that guy? No. So Kickstradamus does more custom paint on shoes, and he does them for NBA players. Okay. Like he did like some Fortnite ones for one of the Lakers players and everything. And Zaptio does customs where he'll cut up Louis Vuitton patterns and sew them on Nikes.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's really big in that scene. So he teamed up with Fnatic and I to do all these customs for the team. And we did 5 for the League of Legends team. They only have it as 1 pair made per player. There's these rare Yeezys. That one's going to get a Hype Beast feature too. Super rare. Oh, man, I think it's these ones. These are made right here. These are real. Where is it at?
When the team gets
the Yeezy Ravens. So this is a Fortnite skin.
Those aren't the Wave Runners? Yeah,
they're Wave Runners.
Those is dope.
So these are made already. There's only one made, and it was awarded to the Salty Summer Skirmish winner. So Fnatic hosted a really big Fortnite tournament. We had all a bunch of top Fortnite streamers and gamers. Like each of these guys would go on Twitch and get like 40,000 live viewers, right? And they all have millions of followers. But the winner, there was a cash prize, but if you got the most kills, you got these shoes, and only 1 pair is made. And it gets awarded to those guys.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm keeping him super rare. I'm never going to sell him ever until maybe one day I'll link a Nike deal, just like how Virgil did with Nike, and Nike started mass producing a bunch of Off-White Air Jordans. Yeah. That's my goal, right? But other than that, I'm only going to do these customs for influencers, but where I'll make my money is through the clothes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you have that patience? Because it seems like there's a lot of patience not to just jump on somebody to get it manufactured or whatever. Like, how do you have?
It's like I believe in like just making sure the quality is good, but the marketing is right as well. And I always go on the whole like, if you can't have it, you're gonna want it. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's how it was with the music videos.
Yeah.
Not everybody could get a CLe video.
Yeah. Like I made sure my prices were high because it's a lot of work. People don't understand it. Sometimes they think I'm hating the city or something for pricing my stuff high and they can never get it. But again, it's like, first off, it's not to hate, but I price it high because I know it's gonna help me get more motivated artists who did put a lot of time and effort into their music.
Yeah.
Right? And they want to put some bread up. But other than that, like, it's just keeping the value up there. And some of these artists, don't realize that a lot of work goes into this stuff, right? And they want a cheap bid. So now I just keep it high so I can only do, like, the major videos where my time is more worth it for that, where it's, like, it had, like, potential to win awards or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's too much work, man. And I have a lot of other stuff.
Well, you got a lot of projects and not a lot of time.
Yeah. Again, though, I'll do a free video for an artist I love, regardless. I've done it. Like, I did free work with there's a local rapper, too, from Provo, from BYU. His name is Citizen King. He's in L.A. now, but he was blowing up. He did an official remix with the Chainsmokers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's involved with the right people, too. Like, a lot of people, they hate on Utah's music, but I tell them, if you want to blow up, go to Provo. Provo is where it's at. Provo is a hotbed where they breed artists, especially, like, indie rock bands.
Well, yeah.
Like Imagine Dragons. Yep, they used Neon Trees. There's a band blowing up right now called The Strike, and my boy Citizen King went on tour with them, too. But yeah, Sid. It's funny because like there's another big rapper from Utah from that area is James the Mormon. You heard of him? Yeah, James the Mormon. But
have you done his video yet?
Mm-mm.
You haven't worked with him?
I only work with Sid. Only Sid.
Would you want to work with James the Mormon?
Yeah, he's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he's cool. I like his stuff. I definitely like his stuff. He's holding it down for Utah, but with the clean lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sid's like that too. No, Sid does clean lyrics. They're both, he's Mormon too. Yeah, my boy Sid went to like BYU and everything and graduated. He's like in the law. Like he graduated with focus on law and everything. Dude's crazy. He even got accepted to Harvard.
Damn.
Yeah, but he didn't do any of that. He just stuck with his rap career.
That's a big change from Calico and Blocks. Cause them guys were gritty.
Yeah.
Them guys were real gritty.
Whatever happened with New Birth Records?
Oh, I don't. Again, dude, it's just focus. Like I can't do it all. Yeah. You know what I mean? Movies and games is just where I pivoted. With music, where I'm at with that is the company's there, but I outsource. So my dad definitely helps with all that. He'll handle so I'll have one of my clients like Sony Epic. So we handle a lot of the new media assets, like Instagram videos and stuff. So they send them over. My dad doesn't. Like, you guys don't know. People are looking. If you're on Gucci Mane's thing, you see an animated Instagram video. My dad did that. Like, he did stuff with Gucci Mane, Future. Yeah. Like, you name it. You know what I mean?
It's the OG.
Yeah. DJ Khaled. Yeah. But yeah, it's just focus. Like, I'm trying to just narrow down, keep to a few things now so I can master it. Yeah. Right? Other than that, yeah. And then if I feel like I have the time, I'll go back towards that area. I want to develop it more.
So it's not dead.
Yeah, it's not dead. I mean, no. Having my own label is dead. I'm not gonna do that ever again. No. Yeah, mm-hmm. The reason why I couldn't do it too is because when you manage, you can't manage yourself. I wanted my brand to blow up, but I was so focused on Calico and Blocks and I couldn't look back at myself.
Gotcha.
Do you see what I'm saying? So now I decided I had to go. What's up? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I had to go refocus on my brand and everything. You know what I mean? So I stopped doing the Calico and Blocks thing.
Was there it was Calico Blocks. Who else was on New Birth?
Oh, we had like some California artists. Like this dude named Deception from the Bay Area. These are super lyrical dudes.
I remember him from Too Young's video.
Yeah. That kid, and then you know what's funny? No one knows too. I low key managed just for a little bit Sirius Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't he from Ogden?
No, he's a battle rapper, big one from New Jersey. Yeah. So this is like everybody started noticing me through. So a lot of these other upcoming rappers like Sirius Jones, through our blowing up, they saw value in my visuals. So if I managed them, they knew they would get videos and visuals out of me, like no cost. So it was easy for me to pick up any of these artists, right? Serious Jones is cool because he connected me with Q from World Star, the one that passed away. Yeah, so I talked to Q too and everything, but it's all through because Q was good friends with Serious Jones, and they were always putting up his videos and his battle like videos on World Star Hip Hop. And then, I was working with, I got Calico Blocks connected with Purple City, Dipset.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
and then that's when like we were talking about doing like a whole like Purple City like West or whatever. Like Shice came out here to Utah too, and like he loved Utah so much he even added a line about it in one of his songs, like something about the snowy mountains or whatever. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed that whole part of it.
It was one of those indie labels that I feel. Just like Grand Forte, if it was still around, it would have popped because you had the talent, right? I think Calico Blocks still one of my top 5.
Again, it's my fault with having to pursue other stuff.
Gotcha.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I was still trying to build my brand. Like if I continue with those, like I would just be that hidden figure shadow guy.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's my manager is exact like that. My manager, she just manages and does real estate and that's it. But you would never know who she is. Like only she's known internally in the industry. But you would never know who she is. And I'm trying to be an artist at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
do you still communicate with Calico Blocks?
Yeah, I talked to Calico a year and a half ago. Okay. He's like a chef now. Really talented chef.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then
making food. I need to hit him up.
Blocks is a streamer, Twitch streamer.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So FC's smart. Everybody's going the gaming route. Yeah. Gaming's where it's at, man.
I remember he was on World of Warcraft heavy. Mm-hmm. Or maybe he still is. I don't know.
Probably doing. No, he's doing another game. He plays a bunch of different games on Twitch. I don't know if he's still streaming or not. I haven't seen him stream in a minute. But this is last year. I always hit him up once in a while. I'll go onto his stream and host him or something like on my Twitch stream. Yeah. So I actually communicate with everybody except I don't know what happened to Too Young. Oh,
what happened?
He disappeared. I have no idea. But
Kind of
everyone else, I still talk to. Yeah, I still keep it cool with everybody.
I feel like there was a time where we were used to seeing New Birth and we were used to seeing you everywhere, and all of a sudden it was just like nothing.
Yeah, again, it's like movies. So what happened was my first movie. So it went from New Birth, and I started doing Grand Forte.
Yeah, Grand Forte.
And then I landed a deal to produce my first film, Zombie Hunter, with Danny Trejo.
It's on. Is it still on Netflix?
It is, but you have to rent it now.
Oh,
it's like
gotcha.
It's like the Netflix where you rent from. They have the DVD section. It was on Netflix for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I remember watching it with my girl.
Yeah, it was like when it came out like it was the most viewed movie during Halloween. Yeah, so we held it down on Netflix, but it was in like select theaters too. I remember they played it in Japan or in Europe somewhere. I don't remember, but I remember when that came out. Like I even saw it in Walmart and Best Buy. Like Best Buy had their own edition. It was like the Voodoo edition, the VUDU or something, where it had like a digital copy of it inside. It's pretty dope. Like they put like money into the packaging. It's for a B movie. I was like, that's pretty dope.
So what's your credits on this movie?
I'm a producer, editor, visual effects, marketing, those 4. And then my homie wrote it and directed it and produced it with me.
So how does that work? Do you have the idea, or does he bring you the idea and you're like, yeah, I want to be involved with it?
No, it can work either way. Some people, a writer will have an idea, we'll bring him in on board to work on it. This one, it was his idea, but he came in and we worked on the idea together to flesh it out. So it was just me and him here in the studio or at his house. I had another office besides this place around that time. I was at Redman, which is the biggest rental house in Utah.
Oh, on 21st, right?
Yeah, Disney is like, is that Glendale over here when you go this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Disney, when they come in to shoot, they rent from Redman. Like
Gotcha.
They are the main rental house. So Brian Clifton, he's the owner, he gave me a spot in there. Like he's one of my guys too. He like believed in me. He did the same thing with the director of Napoleon Dynamite. Wow. So he lent the guy that did Napoleon Dynamite free lights and everything. He got a percentage of Napoleon Dynamite, of course, right? Yeah. But he's like, here, take all the lights, go shoot it. He did the same exact thing with me. So he started like giving me equipment because he believed in me, right? So he's like, take all this equipment, blah, 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 go make your movie. And he did it twice already. So he did it with my first film, Zombie Hunter, and he did it with my second film, Juarez 2045, which is now called Cartel.
I was going to say, I looked on Amazon.
So what happens is sometimes when you sell a movie to a studio, they change the name for marketing reasons. They knew people would start calling it Juarez
Gotcha.
Right? They can't pronounce Juarez or whatever, and they're like, it's just called Cartel 2045. Because by the time I sell the rights off to studios, they owned the rights. They owned the IP.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want with it.
Was Zombie Hunter your first CG? Is it CGI or?
It was film. We had visual effects in it though.
Well, you had a monster.
Yeah. That's all CG.
That was okay. Was
Yeah.
that your first?
No, I did CG in the past. I've always done visual effects. I've done visual effects for short films, music videos. Like I did a robot on like this Doritos commercial thing. I did.
Remember.
Yeah.
I
So-
just watched that today.
Not Chucky. What was his name?
Archie. Yeah, that's when
Archie.
Fox came in and did an interview too when I released that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they came to the studio and they did a whole feature on it.
It was a competition, right?
Yeah, it was a competition. Yeah.
So do you know how far like you went with that? Or?
I was like the highest voted with everybody, and they picked like the last 4 to compete, and I didn't make that cut because it was all people that did dogs.
Yeah.
So they went with what the masses can relate to, and they just love puppies, man. Like real puppies, not robot puppies.
Yeah, not robot puppies.
Yeah.
He had them on the treadmill.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
So those are all skill sets I picked up and then finally utilized them in a real product, which is a movie. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What's that relation like with Danny?
Oh, he's cool. He's real good friends now with my partner, which is awesome. So when we booked him for my second movie, my partner became real good friends with him and his bodyguard. So if I need him for anything, my partner will get him for me. Like I was just recently in LA shooting a commercial for a game project I'm on with Danny. So I was with Danny. I posted on Instagram too. There's a picture of me and Danny from it was October. I went there on October 26th to shoot this commercial with Danny. Yeah, and then this is the second time he's did a commercial for a game I'm working on. He did another one 2 years ago with me for Counter-Strike. And that one went like really viral too. I think it got like 200,000 views its first night.
Damn.
Yeah. It was all over Reddit, #1 on Reddit. Bunch of major video game blogs like IGN, Kotaku, and all that.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they didn't know how I got Danny Trejo to do that for free. But in reality, we did a royalty deal. I was like, if I get these guns accepted by Valve, you get a split on the skins. And eventually, one skin got accepted. So I have Danny Trejo owning a skin with me on Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's real dope.
Man, it's cool. I treat it like stocks too. Like he recently was on Rick and Morty. He's the voice of Jaguar on the Pickle Rick episode. So I love it when stuff like that happens because it brings us value up.
Yeah.
So which brings my value of the skin up. So it's pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, he's in Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty. Yeah, and he's blowing up in LA because of his taco restaurant. It's called Trejo's Tacos.
Really?
He's a lot of them. Yeah, it's like a franchise. Wow. Trejo's Donuts, Trejo's Tacos, all over LA. Like, yeah, all over LA. Yeah, he's killing it. Trejo is killing it.
Next time I'm in LA.
Yeah.
He's an OG. That's why when I seen you work with him, I'm like, dang.